Today we're counting down the 20 biggest fish ever caught by anglers using rod and reel. These aren't commercial fishing nets or research vessels hauling up specimens. These are real people, with real fishing gear, battling absolute giants in some of the most incredible fishing stories ever documented. From the murky depths of Southeast Asian rivers to the crystal clear waters off New Zealand, we're going to explore catches that redefined what's possible with a fishing rod. So grab your favorite beverage and settle in, because we're about to take you on a journey through the most incredible fishing achievements in recorded history, starting from number 20 and working our way up to the absolute monster that holds the crown. You're going to see fish that will change how you think about what's swimming beneath the surface. Let's kick things off with number 20. The Mekong giant catfish that tipped the scales at 646 pounds. This absolute unit was caught in Thailand back in 2005, and it represents one of the most significant freshwater catches in angling history. Now, when most people think catfish, they picture those whiskered bottom dwellers in their local pond. But the Mekong giant catfish is an entirely different beast altogether. This particular specimen was hauled from the murky waters of northern Thailand, where these prehistoric-looking giants have been swimming for millions of years. What makes this catch even more remarkable is that Mekong giant catfish are critically endangered. Finding one this size was like discovering a living dinosaur. The fish measured over 9 feet long and represented a species that can live for decades, growing larger and more impressive with each passing year. Moving up to number 19, we encounter something that most people don't even realize can be caught on rod and reel. A giant freshwater stingray weighing approximately 771 pounds. This flat, disc-shaped monster was caught in Thailand in 2015, and it completely shattered people's understanding of what constitutes freshwater fishing. Picture this: you're fishing in a river, expecting maybe a nice-sized catfish or bass, when suddenly your line starts screaming off the reel. What emerges from the depths looks more like something from the ocean floor than a freshwater inhabitant. These stingrays can span over 13 feet across and possess a venomous barb that can grow up to 15 inches long. The angler who landed this giant had no idea they were about to make fishing history when they cast their line that day. Number 18 takes us to the Fraser River in Canada, where in 1985, an angler landed a white sturgeon weighing 1,100 pounds. Now, sturgeon are often called living fossils, and for good reason. These fish have been around for over 200 million years, basically unchanged since the time of dinosaurs. The white sturgeon that made our list represents one of North America's largest freshwater fish species. What's absolutely mind-blowing about sturgeon is their longevity. The fish caught in 1985 could have been swimming in that river for over a century. These ancient giants can live well over 100 years, and the largest specimens are often the oldest. Their prehistoric appearance, complete with bony plates instead of scales, makes landing one feel like you've connected with something from Earth's distant past. Our 17th entry brings us to warmer waters and a fish that's become synonymous with massive size and incredible strength. The Goliath grouper weighing 680 pounds was caught off Florida in 1961. Back then, these giants were called jewfish, but regardless of the name, they've always been absolute monsters. Goliath grouper are ambush predators that lurk around reefs and wrecks, using their massive mouths to inhale prey whole. The 680-pound specimen caught in '61 represents a fish that probably lived for decades, growing larger each year in the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. These fish are so powerful that smaller specimens have been known to break fishing rods just by opening their mouths. Number 16 introduces us to one of the ocean's most versatile predators. A bull shark weighing 697 pounds and 12 ounces was caught off Kenya in 2001. Bull sharks are unique among large sharks because they can survive in both saltwater and freshwater environments. This adaptability, combined with their aggressive nature, makes them one of the most formidable predators in the water. What makes this particular catch remarkable is the location. Kenya's waters are known for incredible fishing, but landing a bull shark of this size requires both skill and courage. Bull sharks are responsible for more unprovoked attacks on humans than almost any other species, making the fight to land this giant an adrenaline-pumping experience that few anglers will ever forget. Moving to number 15, we find ourselves in Florida waters again, where in 1982, an angler landed a dusky shark weighing 764 pounds. Dusky sharks are long-distance travelers, capable of migrations spanning thousands of miles. The specimen caught in Florida represents a mature individual that had likely roamed the Atlantic Ocean for decades. These sharks are perfectly built for long-distance travel, with streamlined bodies and efficient swimming styles that allow them to cover vast distances while hunting. Landing a 700-plus-pound dusky shark requires not just strength, but incredible endurance, as these fish are known for their stamina and refusal to give up easily. Number 14 takes us across the Pacific to New Zealand, where in 1983, an angler caught a thresher shark weighing 767 pounds. Thresher sharks are instantly recognizable thanks to their extraordinarily long tail fins, which can account for nearly half their total body length. These whip-like tails are used as weapons to stun schools of fish before feeding. The New Zealand specimen represents one of the largest thresher sharks ever documented. What makes thresher sharks particularly challenging to catch is their incredible speed and agility. That massive tail doesn't just look impressive, it provides incredible propulsion that allows these sharks to make lightning-fast direction changes that can snap fishing lines and break equipment. At number 13, we head back to New Zealand waters for another thresher shark, but this time it's the Big Eye variety that weighed in at 802 pounds in 1981. Now, you might be thinking, what's the difference between a regular thresher and a Big Eye thresher? Well, as the name suggests, Big Eye threshers have significantly larger eyes that help them hunt in deeper, darker waters. This particular specimen was caught during what many consider the golden age of big game fishing in New Zealand. The Big Eye thresher's massive eyes, which can be up to 4 inches in diameter, allow them to spot prey in depths where most other sharks would be swimming blind. That 800-pound monster caught in '81 had probably spent decades patrolling the deep waters off New Zealand's coast, using those dinner plate-sized eyes to hunt everything from squid to small tuna. Number 12 brings us to one of the most prized fish in the ocean, and honestly, one that makes sushi lovers weep when they see the size. A Pacific bluefin tuna weighing 907 pounds and 6 ounces was caught off New Zealand in 2014. This is where things get really interesting, because Pacific bluefin tuna are basically the Ferraris of the fish world. They're built for speed, capable of reaching speeds over 40 miles per hour, and their bodies are so perfectly designed for efficiency that they can maintain their body temperature above the surrounding water. The angler who landed this giant had their hands full for hours. Bluefin tuna are notorious for their stamina and their ability to dive deep when hooked. This particular fish probably took its captor on a tour of New Zealand's offshore waters, burning through hundreds of yards of line and testing every piece of equipment to its absolute limit. Our 11th entry takes us way back to 1953 and introduces us to a fish that's basically a living sword. A swordfish weighing 1,182 pounds was caught off Chile. And let me tell you, this catch represents something truly special. Swordfish are apex predators armed with a bill that can grow up to 5 feet long and sharp enough to pierce through boat hulls. The Chilean specimen from '53 was caught during an era when offshore fishing was still in its infancy. The angler who battled this giant was using equipment that would be considered primitive by today's standards, yet somehow managed to subdue a fish armed with what amounts to a natural spear. Swordfish are known for their ability to dive to incredible depths, sometimes exceeding 1,800 feet, making this catch even more remarkable. Number 10 introduces us to the speed demon of the shark world. A shortfin mako shark weighing 1,221 pounds was caught off Massachusetts in 2001. If you want to talk about adrenaline-pumping fishing, try hooking into a mako shark. These are the cheetahs of the ocean, capable of reaching speeds over 40 miles per hour and known for their spectacular aerial displays when hooked. The Massachusetts mako caught in 2001 represents a fish that had probably roamed the Atlantic Ocean for decades. What makes mako sharks particularly challenging is their intelligence and their tendency to jump completely out of the water when fighting. Picture trying to land a fish that weighs over half a ton and can launch itself 15 feet into the air. That's exactly what the angler faced during this legendary battle. At number 9, we encounter one of the most distinctive-looking sharks in the ocean. A great hammerhead shark weighing 1,280 pounds was caught off Florida in 2006. That bizarre hammer-shaped head isn't just for show. It's actually a sophisticated piece of evolutionary engineering that gives these sharks incredible sensory capabilities. The hammerhead's uniquely shaped head is packed with electrical sensors that can detect the heartbeat of a fish buried in sand from several feet away. The Florida specimen caught in 2006 represents a mature female that had likely been patrolling those waters for decades. Great hammerheads are known for their size and their somewhat unpredictable behavior, making this catch both impressive and slightly terrifying. Number 8 takes us to one of the most remote fishing locations on our list. A sixgill shark weighing 1,298 pounds was caught off Ascension Island in 2002. Sixgill sharks are living relics from the age of dinosaurs, essentially unchanged for over 200 million years. These deep water giants typically inhabit depths of over 3,000 feet, making any encounter with them extremely rare. The Ascension Island catch represents something truly extraordinary. Sixgill sharks are typically deep water dwellers that rarely venture into the shallower waters where recreational anglers fish. The fact that someone managed to hook into one of these ancient giants and bring it to the surface is nothing short of miraculous. These sharks can live for over 80 years and grow continuously throughout their lives, meaning the specimen caught in 2002 was probably older than most of the people reading about it. Our 7th entry brings us to Hawaiian waters and one of the most iconic game fish in the world. A Pacific blue marlin weighing 1,376 pounds was caught off Hawaii in 1982. Blue marlin are the stuff of fishing legends, featured in everything from Hemingway novels to sport fishing magazines around the world. This particular Hawaiian giant represents the pinnacle of blue water fishing. Blue marlin are incredible athletes, capable of reaching speeds over 50 miles per hour and known for their spectacular fighting displays. When hooked, they'll often spend more time in the air than in the water, tail walking across the surface in displays that leave anglers speechless. The 1982 Hawaiian catch took place in waters known for producing some of the largest marlin in the Pacific, but even by those standards, a fish approaching 1,400 pounds is absolutely exceptional. Number 6 takes us to Brazilian waters for an Atlantic blue marlin that weighed 1,402 pounds and 2 ounces. Caught in 1992, the Atlantic and Pacific blue marlin are closely related, but the Atlantic variety tends to grow slightly larger on average. This Brazilian giant represents one of the largest marlin ever documented in the Atlantic Ocean. The waters off Brazil have long been known for producing massive marlin, thanks to the rich feeding grounds created by ocean currents that bring nutrient-rich waters up from the depths. The angler who landed this giant faced a fish that had probably spent decades roaming the South Atlantic, feeding on everything from tuna to dolphin fish and growing larger with each passing year. Number 5 brings us to what many consider the holy grail of tuna fishing. An Atlantic bluefin tuna weighing 1,496 pounds was caught off Nova Scotia, Canada in 1979 by Ken Fraser. This isn't just any tuna record. This is the tuna record that has stood untouched for over 4 decades and shows no signs of being broken anytime soon. Fraser's legendary catch happened on October 26th, and what makes it even more incredible is that he managed to boat this giant in just 45 minutes. Most anglers would expect a fish of this size to fight for hours, but Fraser and his crew worked with perfect efficiency to land what would become the most famous tuna in fishing history. After nearly 10 hours of dehydrating in the boat, this bluefin still weighed almost 1,500 pounds, giving you an idea of just how massive it was when first caught. At number 4, we travel back to 1953 and the waters off Peru, where an angler landed a black marlin weighing 1,560 pounds. Black marlin are considered by many to be the ultimate prize in big game fishing. They're massive, they're powerful, and they fight like nothing else in the ocean. The Peruvian waters where this giant was caught are known for their incredible productivity, thanks to the nutrient-rich Humboldt Current. This particular black marlin represents a fish that had probably spent decades patrolling the Pacific, growing larger and more formidable with each passing year. Black marlin are known for their incredible size potential, with unconfirmed reports of fish exceeding 2,000 pounds. The 1,560-pound specimen caught in Peru remains the official record, representing one of the most impressive fishing achievements of the 20th century. Number 3 introduces us to one of the most mysterious and long-lived creatures in our oceans. A Greenland shark weighing 1,708 pounds and 9 ounces was caught off Norway in 1987. These Arctic giants are absolutely fascinating because they can live for centuries. Some specimens have been aged at over 400 years old, meaning the shark caught in Norway could have been swimming when Shakespeare was writing his plays. Greenland sharks inhabit some of the coldest waters on Earth, moving slowly through the Arctic depths in search of food. Their flesh is actually toxic when fresh, containing compounds that would make you violently ill. The massive size of the Norwegian specimen represents decades or possibly centuries of slow growth in the harsh Arctic environment. Our runner-up, at number 2, takes us to Australian waters, where in 2004 an angler landed a tiger shark, weighing approximately 1,786 pounds. Tiger sharks are apex predators with a reputation that precedes them. They're known as the garbage cans of the ocean because they'll eat literally anything, from sea turtles to license plates to smaller sharks. The Australian tiger shark represents one of the largest specimens of this species ever documented. Tiger sharks are known for their distinctive striped pattern and their incredibly powerful jaws. They're found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world, but the waters around Australia seem to produce some of the largest specimens. Finally, we reach number 1, the absolute king of rod and reel fishing records. Alfred Dean's great white shark, caught off South Australia in 1959, weighed an incredible 2,664 pounds. This record has stood for over 60 years and shows no signs of being challenged. Dean's great white is so far ahead of every other fish on this list that it's honestly in a category by itself. Dean was a citrus farmer who dedicated just a few weeks each year to shark fishing, but what he accomplished in those brief fishing seasons was nothing short of legendary. Using relatively simple equipment by today's standards, Dean battled this nearly 3,000-pound apex predator for almost an hour before finally bringing it alongside his boat. The massive jaws of this great white were big enough to swallow a person whole, and its sheer size defied everything people thought they knew about what was possible in recreational fishing. What makes Dean's record even more remarkable is the era in which it was achieved. This was 1959, long before modern fish finders, jeeps, or high-tech reels. Dean relied on skill, experience, and more than a little courage to tangle with these ocean giants. His great white shark remains not just a fishing record, but a testament to what's possible when skill meets opportunity in the vast expanse of our oceans. From the ancient sturgeon of North American rivers to the speed demons of the Pacific, these 20 fish represent the absolute pinnacle of what's been achieved with rod and reel. Each catch tells a story of human determination meeting the raw power of nature's largest predators. If this journey through fishing's greatest achievements has you itching to wet a line, smash that like button and let me know in the comments which fish surprised you the most. And hey, if you want to see more incredible fishing content like this, make sure you're subscribed because we've got plenty more monster fish stories coming your way.